How's it going, guys? Got some broken but are open news for you today. We've got the announcement for the PTE. This is, the devs are calling it Broken Arrow 2.0. It's like an overhaul of all the game mechanics. It doesn't add any new units, but it's an overhaul of game mechanics. And this press release is saying that the release date for the PTE will be April 22nd at 5 p.m. CEST, which is Central European Summer Time, which is GMT plus 2. The UK is currently on GMT plus 1, so it'll be 4 p.m. UK time. So yeah, I'm going to read out the words. Honestly, like, if you want a great showcase, really good showcase of how this works, I would recommend this N7 Shark video. He goes through every single thing with, what it was like in the public version, what it was like in the new version, right, the PTE, and yeah, it's just a really well made video. I don't know, obviously it's not really meta on YouTube to go on about, like, watch somebody else's video, right, because I'll watch my video, but honestly it's really good. It goes through everything, right. Yeah, I mean, his forehead's the same size as mine, but you guys keep going on about how I have a massive forehead. This guy, 408 comments, not a single one of them is about his forehead. So he's got a better community as well. Not only is the video better, but the people watching the video are better. So if you want to elevate yourself, I'd check out the N7 Shark video. He's a nice bloke. I've spoken to him once. So yeah, I'll read out the words, but, watch this if you want to see it in action, basically. So the time has come, yeah, PT, April 22nd at 5 p.m. CEST. On this branch, you'll be able to test a wide range of gameplay improvements, balance adjustments, and new systems designed to deepen strategy and enhance overall battlefield dynamics. So, first of all, they've added the Conquest mode from Wado. So when you take a zone in Broken Arrow, the way it works right now is you take it, and then once every 15 minutes, whoever controls it at the end of those 15 minutes will get points. And so there's like 3 ticks over the course of the game. This generates the obvious problem that you could guess from just thinking about it for 10 seconds, which is people just sit outside the cap, and then in the last everything happens quite slowly in Broken Arrow, so in the last 3 minutes they'll do a big push in with a bunch of smoke and stuff, and the defender will desperately smoke his own units and try and keep one guy running around in circles waiting for the tick to go down. Oh, I got the points. It's obviously very, very silly, so it's a good thing they changed that. So now you still have the 3 phases, but at the end of the phase it's who owned it for most of the phase, not who owned it at the end of said phase. So you also still get points for kills, right? Then there's changes to income. So as you know, in Broken Arrow, the more units you have on the field, the less you're able to buy, which is copied off a game called World in Conflict, which came out in 2007. Really good single-player campaign in World in Conflict. It's better than Broken Arrow's single-player, and frankly, it's better than Warno's single-player. So if you want a really good single-player, World in Conflict 2007. It's a little bit tricky to work on modern systems. You have to download a couple patches, or it crashes in the cutscenes and things like this, but you can get it on GOG for like £3, so... yeah, so you can only deploy so many units, but now it's like non-linear, so the way your income goes down is now even less easy to calculate, and I don't really understand this change at all and how it helps. I don't think it does. It's just sort of trying to put lipstick on a pig. They should just make it so you get as many units as you want. Anyway, so there's an anti-overkill system for planes. So he goes through this in the video, really good video. So basically, if you fly a jet over, some SAMs, they won't all fire because they want to save ammo, and they're like... And like in this testing scenario, it works correctly, but in an actual multiplayer game with the desync, the connection issues, other things happening on the map, maybe some arty comes in or something, maybe another plane comes in. Basically, it just leads to situations where if they'd all just fired, you would have killed the plane, but instead they're trying to save ammo so the plane survives. It's the most frustrating thing you can imagine. Anyway, it still kind of happens, but less. Yeah, infantry transport vehicles now carry supply crates as an ability that can resupply and heal infantry. Once again, recommending this video, he shows it, but basically, the IFVs now carry supply, like the APCs and stuff like that. So your Delta, you use the clown car, right? You drive it in, you unload the Delta Force into the building, kill the guy, then you put it back in, and it'll heal itself off the IFV, and it'll actually resupply men, not just ammo. So that's useful. Ground units have custom respawn timers visible in their stats. Yeah, so when you open the game now, it actually tells you, SU-25 or whatever. I guess that's not a ground unit, but it's the same for the air units. I'm not sure why they've written it like that. It'll say, if this dies, it'll come back in 6 minutes or whatever. So it matters a bit more now. Basically, everything takes a bit longer to come back. Damage for automatic weapons in the unit info panel is now displayed as damage per second, so that's useful to actually figure out what's actually happening, as opposed to damage per bullet, and then you've got to do your own calculations on how fast it's firing and all this. New map layouts a bit... Wano doesn't have this, by the way. New map layouts have been introduced, and infantry now inherit stress from destroyed transport. So this is back to the clown car thing. So the way it works currently in the game is you drive a vehicle up to the enemy, he kills the vehicle, and the infantry jumps out, usually undamaged, but completely unstressed or anything, and just immediately twats your tank. Now the infantry comes out panicked, so it's not as ridiculous, but they do survive a lot. It's definitely better than it was before. Recon units, so a new sneak ability allows certain recon units to increase stealth at the cost of movement speed. Base stealth for these units has been slightly reduced. Yes, so snipers, instead of having 3 stealth, I think now have 2.5 by default. But if you go into sneaky mode, they lie down and they get like 5 stealth, so that's interesting. Infantry weapons have improved damage and range. Their damage reduction system has been reworked, so they are the most resilient when calm or shocked, and most vulnerable when panicked. I really need to oil this chair. I don't know if you can hear that. It's really annoying. So basically, the way it works right now is you shoot a guy, and the first few guys in the squad die straight away, and then they get panicked, and then it takes ages to kill the rest of them. So this is similar to Steel Division 2, and it's similar to... Company of Heroes, right? You press the retreat button and the last guy runs through all the machine guns and makes it back and resupplies the squad. I think it's bollocks, but it's the way it works. They've flipped it now. So now when they get panicked, they'll take more damage. Honestly, I think it's just a dumb system to begin with. They should just take the same amount of damage all the time, because it makes it very... Because as a human being, you expect linear systems, right? You expect if it took 1 second to lose the first guy, it should take 1 second to lose the next guy and 1 second to lose the next guy. That's how your brain works, if you've got one. And what this is instead a curve where the first few guys won't be dying, and you'll be like, great, all is well in the world, and then the rest will all die really quickly. Whereas before it was the opposite way around. First they died really quickly, like, oh, I've got to get out of here, but then they become super tanky at the end. So why isn't it just a linear system? Do you see what I mean? They're it's just overly complicated for no reason, but there it is. Tank gun damage has been increased, and aiming times for various vehicle weapons have been reduced. So there you go. Tanks are better now. In general, they've nerfed... I suppose we're about to talk about this. Support units. Artillery has longer range and aim time with increased cost. Howitzers are now divided into tiers with different roles and loadouts. Reload times have increased, and 82mm mortars have an auto-fire option, so you drive up to the enemy, and if there's enemies spotted in range, it'll just start shooting them. In general, they've nerfed artillery and air, so that they can buff infantry and vehicles. So I think, honestly, I prefer that. These support players who sit at the back of the map and just sit there shooting tornadoes at everybody, I wish I could just reach through the screen and strangle the life out of them. The fact that they get as many votes as me is truly worrying. Anyway. Anti-air damage and range has been slightly reduced, with missile damage capped to prevent one-shot kills. So it still does it, and you can see it in the video, it's still doing it. They should just all shoot. It's like, oh, but you're wasting ammo. Yes, that's a valid tactic that happens in real life. They put decoys everywhere. The missiles in real life shoot out their own decoys. Their little decoy missiles. You can see them coming in if you want to, watch that sort of thing. and it wastes AA ammo, and then the AA gets shot, just like in real life. But apparently we need this doesn't work properly overkill problem, so that you can just not kill planes sometimes because your units have decided not to shoot. But they've made it less retarded. Radar bonuses against low-flying targets have been reduced, and vertical launch systems have faster animations. So the missiles will come out faster, I suppose. Not sure what this means. I suppose it's got less range against low-flying guys, which makes it even more annoying. And anti-air damage and range have been reduced with missile damage capped to prevent one-shot kills. But the way this reads is that anti-air's been nerfed. It hasn't. It's been buffed because watch this because now more of them shoot at once instead of but they still don't all shoot at once, so sometimes it'll still get out even though it shouldn't. Anyway, helicopters' agility has been improved, transport helicopter prices reduced, and ATGM aim time shortened. So they buffed helicopters, which are already really good in Broken Arrow, so I don't really agree with that. Aircraft refund timers now depend on rearm time of ammunition instead of cost. So they've got like custom rearm times, basically. Air superiority fighters rearm faster. Aircraft pricing has been standardized based on loadouts. Cargo plane prices have been reduced, so airdrops might be viable. And if you click on this, it goes to a document with every single change in the universe in it. I'm not going to read all these out. He doesn't really cover them in the video either. I'm not going to read all these out. I can't be bothered. So to celebrate how bothered I can't be, we'll be live on the Slytherin Twitch channel, presumably on April 22nd. I'll do my own co-stream if I can be bothered. Hosting Vulcan HD Gaming as he showcases and plays the PTE for a couple hours. And then it'll come out. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And the TLDR, just go watch this guy's video. Have a lovely day.